Bore da, Prynawn da, Croeso, welcome to another 40k noob report. Today I am rocking the Necrons as the Mephrit dynasty. I want to try out something different with them. And Dave is playing as the Blood Angels, and now this is only Dave's second game of 40k, and the first game where he's actually using command points with command cards. So he is equally as clueless as I am about it, so I might be on some level playing field this time. So we have gone for 52 power levels, so we can just sneak into the incursion missions, therefore getting a few more command points so to play around with. Still learning the game, so the quality of the battle reports won't be quite up there. Obviously not up there with some of the better guys making it. Play on tabletop, looking at you guys, your battle reports are stunning. So yes, bear with me. Things should start improving when I get grips of the game and figuring out how to record everything a bit better. So until then, just bear with me. It'll just be recaps of turns in the moment, and just let us know if you thought we've done anything wrong or any tips and tactics we can use in the future. So from now on, I'll usually be playing as Necrons and Dave will be playing as the Blood Angels, and we're looking to start doing crusade missions as well to have a bit more of a narrative. So let's have a look at the armies.
Okay everyone, so here is my Necron Army today. So it's going to be Mephrit, so just wanted to try out some of the other dynasties. Do like Novok, finding it hard not to take them, but I just want to try something different, so I've taken an army that I think might be good for them as well. So my Warlord is an Overlord, and I've given him the Merciless Tyrant, which is the Mephrit specific Warlord trait, so +1 strength and +1 attacks, so that's quite nice. And I've given him the Veil of Darkness, so you'll be able to jump a unit around with him across the board somewhere, just to give Dave something to think about. I also have a Royal Warden, and he's been given the Conduit of Stars using the Dynastic Heirlooms requisition and stratagem, so that's 1 command point down so far. And Conduit of Stars is the Mephrit specific relic, so it gives his gun he's got a bit better. I also have a Techmancer, so new unit I've bought, and I've given him a Crypto Geometric Adjuster. So that will be, he'll be tagging along with the Doomstalker, so everything to keep the Doomstalker alive, he'll be doing to help. And what I do have is I have a full unit of Necron Warriors, so 20, another unit of 10, and then I have a unit of Warriors with both weapon options because I accidentally put the blasters on by mistake. And then as you can see, I have the Doomstalker and 6 Scarab Swarm bases. Okay, here we have Dave, and he's using my Blunder Angels. We've had a good little practice, so he knows a bit about it. So his Warlord is Mephiston, so quite a decent Warlord to have, and his Warlord trait is Speed of the Primarch, which he already has anyway, is given to him. He does have a Chaplain as well, and he's been given the Benediction of Fury Relic. So that makes his Crozius Arcanium a little bit better. And he has 2 full squads of Assault Intercessors, a squad of Outriders, a 3-man squad of Eradicators, and the elite choice being the Death Company Dreadnought. So that is it. So no command points spent yet for Dave. So we'll have a little look at the mission and the table.
All battle reports on this channel, my wife, known as the Oracle of Battle in the Flames of War community, will pick who she thinks is going to be the victor in today's game, and she is picking the Necrons, so it is very nice to be backed by the Oracle of Battle. It feels like you have quite a bit of momentum, or it does feel like there's a weight on your shoulders, so keep a note of that, see if the Necrons are going to win, and see if the Oracle of Battle is back on track.
Okay, so we're playing the Divide and Conquer mission, so it's incursion level. We're only at 52 power levels, so it just gives us that extra command points, making it a bit of a better game, and it shouldn't be too long to play as well. So we can see here the deployment zones are on either of the short table edges, and we have the 4 objectives in the middle. So Dave has gone for the Blade of Sanguinius, Oath of Moment and Relentless Assault for his secondaries. So most of them being Blood Angels secondary, so quite thematic, and then the Oath of Moment being just the Space Marine Codex, which is quite a good one to have, and again it goes with the army. And I've done a similar thing, although it might be difficult for me to score them. I have the Code of Combat, Purge the Vermin, and Ancient Machinery secondary. So all from the Necron Codex. I just know I like the theme, so I'll try to get them and hopefully pull out a win. But the Blood Angels are hard hitters in Assault, so hopefully I can keep out of it. Okay, so we are deployed. Dave has picked Shield of Sanguinius, Blood Lance, and Wings of Sanguinius for Mephiston's sanguinary discipline powers, and the Litany of Faith has been chosen by the Chaplain. So we have deployed basically the Ancient Machineries by here, and here for my stuff. So deployed over here we have one of the assault squads with the Outriders, the Dreadnought, and the Chaplain. Over here Mephiston is with the other assault squads, and hiding here are the Eradicators. Over for me we have the Immortals with the Royal Warden, we have the Overlord with his 20 warriors, and then everything else is here. So we have more warriors, the Doomstalker, the Techmancers right behind here, and then we have the Scarab Swarms. And that is deployment. So we roll now to see who has first turn, and I get a 5. Dave gets a 1, so I got first turn, so good luck. And we'll see how we go in our noob report. Okay, so command phase. Protocol of the Sudden Storm is active and Directive 2 has been picked, so I can perform actions with and shoot without the action failing. And the Overlord has done my will be done, so you can get people moving along a little bit quicker. And as all the other ones I can issue are not really needed yet. So we'll get into movement and we'll see where I end up. Okay, so movement. The warriors are just bunched up behind the walls. Some of them can get shots onto the Marines over here. This bunch has moved up as well. The Scarabs have flown over and they're going to be doing the action for the Ancient Machineries. And then pretty much everyone is in this crater here taking some cover. But the Techmancer within his range to do all his gubbins to give all their boosts. So that is that done. I have no Psychers, so no Psychic phase for me, so I'll go straight into the shooting. So hopefully I can pick off 1 or 2 Marines. Okay, so in my shooting, pretty much everything I pumped into this squad of Assault Intercessors. Managed to knock down 4 of them. Yeah. Yep, and there's one then with 1 rune remaining. But luckily the Chaplain is here so they can use his leadership, so there's going to be no assaults or anything like that, so we go straight into morale. Dave, you roll your morale, just 1 dice. And he gets a 2, so they are good. And now we go into Blood Angels, turn 1. Okay, so in the command phase, the Chaplain has done his Litany of Faith. So basically that is basically a 5-up, feel no pain for the guys around him, so that's nice. So let's see where Dave ends up taking his Blood Angels. Okay, so Blood Angels doing their Blood Angel thing, they are getting up in my face. So these guys advance not very far though. The Chaplain really run along here to take some cover behind the ruins. The Outriders just moved because that's how far they go, and this guy did an advance as well. So I've got a bloody Death Company Dreadnought facing up against me as well. The Eradicators did a move and an advance into the craters for cover, and then these guys did the same thing, not quite advancing as the rest of the left flank, but getting up towards, and they actually might be on this objective. We'll have to measure because it is within 3 inches, but we're going into a psychic phase, and Mephiston gets to manifest 2, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so Mephiston's in a bit of a mood today. He manifested Wings of Sanguinius, but was failed. So then Dave used the command point to reroll, which he did, and then he went to use Blood Lance and failed. So hopefully you'll get better as the game goes on, because that wasn't good. So now we have shooting, so there's a bit limited, thankfully for me. Although these assault bikes can shoot, and the melter can shoot, and then these guys, if they're in range, can shoot as well. Okay, so the Eradicators had a pop at the guys in the craters and managed to kill one. My reanimation didn't go off, and then the Melter on the Dreadnought missed, and then the Bikers managed to get rid of 3, and managed to get 1 back for reanimation. So we go into the charges. So I might have to fire some Overwatch. So we will see what happens, but it'll depend what he charges in with first. Okay, so not bad for me. Dave hasn't charged in with his Dreadnought because he wants the objective. The Bikes, however, lost a bike going into defensive fire. They then lost a couple of wounds to the Warriors when they hit back. In total, they took out about 4 Warriors. I did get 1 back through reanimation. And then the Overlord came in. So he had an extra attack because of his Warlord trait, and then he just smashed him up with a Hyperphase Glaive. So yeah, that was pretty decent for him. So now we go into Necron turn 1, Necron turn 2 command phase, and we'll see where things lie with points. And I get 3. Well, technically at the end of the turn because I've managed to wipe out a unit with the Overlord, but we'll see if I can score any more points. So in the command phase, my Will Be Done has been set up. I will be using Veil of Darkness, but that's movement phase, and then the Tech Monster uses Rites of Reanimation to bring the other guy back. So I then managed to score 5 VP for my paltry objective I've got, and I've also managed to get another 3 VP because I did the Ancient Machineries. And the good thing is I have Protocol of the Vengeful Stars active, so that will be very nice going in with shooting stuff this turn. Actually no, I won't use the Veil of Darkness this turn because there's other stuff I need to do. So we'll go into movement and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so movement. The Immortals and the Royal Warden are moving up to engage the remnants of the Assault Intercessors. These guys are moving onto the objective, so I can get that next turn because these guys are objective secured. The Overlord is moving up as well, so if he does not get killed in combat, the Overlord might have to jump in as well and finish him off. And that is it for movement. So now we go into the shooting phase. Okay, so shooting. I spent 3 command points: Talent for Annihilation, Disintegration Capacitors, and Relentless Onslaught on the Warriors to get rid of the Dreadnought, which I did. These guys then managed to get all but 1 of the Assault Intercessors thanks to the Feel No Pain from the Chaplain. And then I managed to get rid of 1 of the Assault Intercessors with the Warriors and the Techmancer, and then the Doomstalker only managed to get rid of 1 of the Eradicators because I did get 2 wounds, but I rolled a 1 on the first one, so that was unfortunate. So that's going to be the end of my turn. So now we're going into Dave's turn 2 command phase, not turn 1. Okay, so we did do the morale at the end of last turn, and this guy is sticking around. So turn 2, he is doing Litany of Hate. Litany of Hate, and Dave has discovered his command cards.
Litany of Faith.
Oh, sorry, Litany of Faith. And basically, he is putting down the orbital bombardment, basically right on top of my objective there, because he's kind of noticed since I'm doing that action again that these guys won't be moving anytime soon. So, or I could just move them off and do it somewhere else, but the Scabs are just going to have to take the hit. But there's a few other guys that can take a hit as well. So that is it. So now we go into movement phase. Okay, movement phase. This lone Assault Intercessor has advanced, going on to take on the Necron Warriors because I don't know whether I'll spend the command point to shoot at him. And then the Chaplain is moving for the Overlord, and Mephiston is moving towards the Techmancer, who is his challenge target. Have you advanced, Mephiston?
Yeah.
Okay, right, so Psychic Phase. Okay, so Psychic Phase. Mephiston again failed in his first attempt to manifest, so command reroll again. So that's down to 3 command points for Dave, but then he got Blood Lance off, but didn't cause any damage, and then he used Smite and managed to kill 3 Necron Warriors, but 1 came back. So Mephiston having a bit of a trouble with his Psychic Discipline. Must be troubles in the warp, but he will be getting into combat this turn, no doubt, because we do have combat, but he does need to pass his charge, but he gets +1 to this. So we will see. So we do have some shooting. These guys might be in range with their pistols, and the Eradicators do have people to shoot, especially this guy here, if they're in range. So let's do shooting. Okay, shooting done. 4 Necron Warriors have been dropped thanks to Eradicators and the pistols of the Assault Intercessors. So we are going into the assault step. My Doomstalker will be able to fire Overwatch as Mephiston goes in, but I'm not really going to spend a command point to try and get rid of him. I might be able to finish him off for the rest, provided he gets in. So let's have a look what happens. Alright, so in the assault phase, the Chaplain went in, pretty much beat up my Overlord. Dave used the command card, so on top of his relic, he made sure that all 6s inflicted automatic wounds. So I killed my Warlord, but then I used the Resurrection Protocol card, managed to get my Warlord back, and with 2 wounds, so I put him back out of the way because this guy's nasty and he's beating me up. The Assault Intercessor took out 2 guys, and that's with 2 rounds of combat because Dave used another command card so he could fight again, and then he managed to survive with 1 wound left. And then Mephiston absolutely battered the Techmancer with 1 wound remaining. So Techmancer's gone, and Dave gets 15 VP for that. And then the Necron Warriors did cause a wound on Mephiston, but he has ignored it. So that is Blood Angels turn 2, and now we go into Necrons turn 3. Right, command phase done. Resurrection Orb was used, and I managed to get, was it 3 back?
Yep.
3 guys back, but then these are going to be moving around. Command phase, I scored an initial 5 because they're not wholly within 3. Dave managed to knock me off with the people he killed. I did get 3 for their activation, and another 5 for here. So still scoring points, and I might be able to get Purge the Vermin as well, which will be nice. There are 2 table... no, actually... 2 table... yeah, 2... No, I can't. I need to kill people to get some Purge of Vermin. So there's 1 without any of them at the moment. So let's see if I can get that one as well. So movement phase. Okay, so movement phase. These guys have moved up to do some shooty shoots on the remaining Assault Intercessor. I should kill him with 1 wound remaining. The Scarab Swarms are moving in since the Protocol of Hungry Void is up. I've taken Directive 2 so they can get +1 to their strength, so they might actually have a chance against a Chaplain, who knows. And then these guys, Veil of Darkness over here, they did end up by here, and then they moved. I'm pretty sure I'm able to do that. It didn't say, because it is in the movement phase, so they did that, move it. I will quickly check rulebook, and we'll see that they got dropped back otherwise. So that is it. So now we're going to shooting. Okay, so in shooting phase, that pesky Assault Intercessor has been removed, and the Eradicators have been removed. I've managed to take off 1 wound off the Chaplain, and I've managed to kill another Assault Intercessor and inflict 1 wound. So melee phase, and I think I might blow up a Scarab Swarm. Okay, so fight phase, the Chaplain is still standing, no wounds I've taken off him, and then he killed 2 Scarab Swarms, and I blew up the Scarab. In fact, actually, that's how I took the wound off him. And then Mephiston took a wound, but he did kill 2, but they got back up. So that's where we end things like that. So now we're going to Dave's turn 3. Okay, so command phase done. No point doing litanies for the Chaplain because there's no units around him, but the Orbital Bombardment did take out a Necron Warrior and took down a Scarab Swarm down to 1 wound, but also took the Chaplain down to 2. And Dave scored a few command points last turn anyway, because there's quite a few points for him killing his character, and he also killed the character, getting another point. No one failed morale, so that was good. And he's also within 6 inches of the centre of the table, so he's getting a few points there, and he also gets 5 for the objective. So we are now going to go into the movement phase. Okay, so in movement, the Assault Intercessor is moving into cover in the building, staying on the objective, and the other 2 characters are going to stay locked in combat to do their stuff to the poor enemy. Okay, so Psychic Phase Mephiston's actually starting to get into the swing of it now, using Smite and Blood Lance, managing to kill 3 Necron warriors, as some of them are reanimating again. So we now have Shooting Phase, which we've already done, and nothing's happened. So Combat Phase, where everything's going to get crunched. Okay, so Chaplain's down to 1 wound, killed another Scarab base, and got another one down to 1. And then Mephiston has managed to get rid of all but 2 Necron warriors, but then they managed to take another wound off him. So somehow they're sticking around. No morale for me because my leadership's so high. So we're going into my turn 4. Okay, so done the command phase, scored 15 because I have one objective here, another one here, and I have more than my opponent, so 15. And I have Protocol of the Undying Legion, so I'm taking Directive 1, so I get to reroll a Resurrection dice. And now I go into the movement, so I think I'm going to be using the Ancient Machineries here with these guys, and then these guys are going to try and... might actually do it with these guys as well. So I do have some people to shoot. I do have my Royal Warden here, so hopefully I can finish off this Chaplain. He's got 1 wound left, so maybe. So let's see what happens. Okay, that is shooting done. The Royal Warden got 3 wounds on the Chaplain, and Dave rolled 3 4s on his Rosarius, so bounced it. So then the Doomstalker overloaded everything and fired into him, and yeah, he bounced 1,
Yep.
but then failed, and then it was d6 damage, so that was enough. So the only combat is going to be Mephiston, and Dave's going first anyway because Mephiston gets to fight first if he wants to. So we should see 2 dead Necron warriors here. Okay, so there's still a guy by here because he resurrected. Didn't manage to wound Mephiston this time, but I am scoring 6 points for Purge the Vermin because there are 3 table quarters with no enemy units in it. So now we go into Dave's turn 4. Okay, so Psychic Ang shooting phase. This Necron warrior has passed like about 3-4 resurrection protocols in a row now, just won't die. So yeah, so he's still there. So Mephiston is going to pile in and move around a little bit more, so he can maybe start dishing attacks onto the Doomstalker as well. And that is it. So well, we'll see. You never know. Mephiston might end up being dead by the end of this with this Necron warrior. Okay, so Mephiston has killed that warrior finally, and he's knocked down the Doomstalker to 4 wounds. So the Doomstalker is pretty much stuck here now. He won't be able to shoot anyone, so that is it. So we're going into the final turn, and it's my turn 5. Right, command phase, again another 15 birth on primary, and I get another 6 for Ancient Machineries. So I'm going to start moving some things around, might send something in to blow up against Mephiston, and yeah, so there we go. Okay, so movement phase, the warriors are moving up. Most likely I will not end up charging the Assault Ancestors. Royal Warden's moved up, he's still not in half range of Mephiston, and the Scarabs have moved up and advanced to get into contact with Mephiston in the assault phase, and then I'll blow up. Okay, shooting phase, I managed to take out 2 Assault Intercessors and took 1 wound off Mephiston. The Doomstalker firing his low powered shot into him and getting a wound that way, but Dave had 3 feel no pains, he passed. So very, very good. So now we're going into assault. Okay, so the combat, Mephiston knocked the Doomstalker down to 2 wounds, and he's managed to get rid of the Scarab Swarm. So now we're going to Dave's final turn. So in the command phase he will score 5 VP for the objective, and then he gets to move. Okay, so movement phase and psychic phase here. The Assault Intercessors move in so they're within 6 inches of the centre of the table to get some VPs. Mephiston used Smite twice to kill the Doomstalker because he only rolled a 1 damage for mortal wounds. But then he used the... He also used the command reroll, but then he used the card so you can use a 3rd Sanguinary Discipline. So he used Winds of Sanguinius to get to here, so you can potentially get another character this turn. So shooting, and then we have a final fight phase. Okay, Royal Warden is down to 3 wounds, so charges. I suppose the Assault Intercessors could charge here, but they will lose their 2 VP for here, so they might as well stay where they are. So it's all onto Sanguinius going in, and might as well Overwatch. And might be able to set to defend as well because of my command protocol. Okay, so this is how this bit ends. He did kill me, but I managed to resurrect him, and then I swung back. But I used the resurrection just to stop him getting a VP because I haven't really been paying attention to the total scores because it could be relatively bad. So we will do the final scores. You'll get 2 more VPs for being in the centre, and another one for killing a monster, and another one for not failing any morale. So that will be 4 total. Final score 66 to 48. So very good score, good close score on the points in the end. Just what the bad stuff happened down the left here. In fact, it is Dave's first game using the command cards. I think next time, if he knows the command cards a bit better, he would absolutely wallop me. I kind of like overload for me with the command cards. Man of the match, overload for me, because he actually enabled me to keep my using my command protocols, which I think really helped out a lot. I'm sure Dave, your one's going to be Mephiston.
Yeah, sort of, but he did do me bad in the first couple of rounds, and I couldn't get his psychic powers off at all. And I actually liked the chaplain, to be honest, what the chaplain did. I know he got killed in the end, but I think, yeah, he did alright for me. He's buffed, quite a few of the characters and managed to stick around for quite a bit. Took out a lot of characters on the side as well. So
yeah, awesome. So yeah, chaplain, man of the match.
Chaplain for me. Yeah.
Oh, actually, my man of the match is probably the resurrection protocols.
Yeah, that come back in handy a lot of times, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that one. If I upload it, it's still a bit ropey on these rules, but we'll get better, and probably get some crusade stuff get up and running soon with Mike and Dave. So Dave will be using my Blind Angels from now on, and yeah, so quite enjoy using these Necrons, and you'll get a good read of these command protocols and these command cards. So yeah, so keep watching, share, let other people know there's a newish channel for 40k, although not as good as on tabletop gaming, but